H era is here, but why the sudden change to how the WWE presents its product? Join us now as we look at the real reasons why WWE is bringing in a new era. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Now, in case you missed the many proclamations, the WWE is in a new era. WWE and its wrestlers have been talking up how things have changed, with Cody Rhodes describing it as the Renaissance era and even trademarking the term. If you saw WrestleMania, you saw Stephanie McMahon's surprise appearance where she praised her husband Triple H for his work transforming the WWE, labeling it the Paul Levesque era. WrestleMania also ended with a nod to Triple H as Cody Rhodes called him out after his big win over Roman Reigns, winning the Undisputed Championship. Interestingly, Rhodes also invited longtime Vince McMahon associate Bruce Pritchard to the ring, a move which some fans have found awkward after Ronda Rousey's recent rants that as long as Bruce Pritchard is around, Vince McMahon is still influencing the company. However, it's easy to say something has changed and there's a new era. Is this a case of meet the new boss, same as the old boss? Or is the WWE making significant changes to its product? If so, what is driving what some fans and observers believe is a paradigm shift in the WWE product?
Even though Bruce Pritchard is still involved in the WWE, but he's not working for Vince McMahon anymore because Vince McMahon is long gone. So I think, in all honesty, I feel like after learning of how much WWE has come so far since Triple H took over, it is doubtably, without a doubt, that a lot of changes have been made because you're seeing blood, swearing. Is no longer like a PG product as you once knew before. So, to me, I still consider this the Renaissance era of the WWE because I feel like 9 times out of 10, this company is turning the switcheroo on Vince McMahon and it's no longer being yelled at the commentary team. Wrestlers, getting mad if Vince McMahon is no longer getting mad at the wrestlers if they get busted open and whatnot. So, Triple H is pretty much changing the game, and going into Netflix in 2025, I really hope to God that we don't have to see the word TV PG in the TV ratings anymore because of the sponsors. I mean, you could just use TV-14, but try to keep it mostly family friendly, but mature at the same time.
McMahon long referred to the WWE as sports entertainment to differentiate his product from the so-called
That's an insult.
outdated wrestling product of his competitors. The WWE's success and the corresponding marketing led to the WWE becoming
the man that killed professional wrestling
associate with pro wrestling, much like people say Kleenex to refer to facial tissues regardless of the brand. However, the days of when pro wrestling was a banned word appear to be over. According to wrestling purist Ibu, spoke to someone from WWE who told me that the promotion is deliberately moving away from the terminology of sports entertainment.
Good.
We've heard similar, though no specific edict has been handed down. However, one source said that pro wrestling is no longer a dirty word. There are very few dirty words anymore, and the dirty word that do exist, people just seem to say even though we've got memos telling us not to. Things have become much more relaxed in the WWE in terms of what announcers and wrestlers say on air. Even Corey Graves had recently mentioned that things are more relaxed on the commentary booth.
Look, anytime when they say like WWF, WWE, pro wrestling, wrestle, it's like anything that Vince McMahon used to say back in the day is now all of a sudden a bad word, a dirty word. So thankfully, we ain't got to worry about the sensitive topics nowadays because Vince McMahon is no longer with the WWE anymore. So personally for me, I look at it as an ultimate W because it's obvious to me that things are changing for the good. And Triple H is making wrestling feel great again. And this is where I say I became a WWE fan again because of Triple H, of how he was able to utilize and turn this whole company around. And to me, the word pro wrestling means a lot. Michael Cole even said it himself when Cody Rhodes won the title, and he was getting emotional about it. And that's what pro wrestling is about. You know what I'm saying? But Vince McMahon killed pro wrestling when they went PG because they want to cater to the family-friendly brand. You know, the kids and the parents and all of that. So back then, Vince McMahon was a genius of giving us the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, but he was a dog back then too. And the way he treated like the women wrestlers like prostitutes and hookers and hoes or whatnot. But you're not gonna get none of that in today's day and age, and that I can accept. I'm not gonna take a woman seriously if she's or they are pretty much doing like bra and panties match. Like, that's been played out a long time ago, and that's kind of cringe when you think about it. That's not wrestling to me at all. If they want to push the boundaries, I say do it right. Don't do it every other week, every now and then, whether it's at a pay-per-view or on a recent episode of NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. I say do it right. But as far as the blood goes, we're getting it back officially. Even though it's fake blood, but we're getting it back.
WWE uses it, it's used on TV as a major departure from the last 15 plus years, where the WWE would usually stop matches if a wrestler was accidentally cut
I
or
used to
began
hate
bleed.
that.
Over the last year, there were rare occasions where wrestlers were busted open, but these occurred on PLEs. That changed with The Rock's violent attack on Cody Rhodes during Raw. The current spin is that WWE's policy is to limit the use of blood, but even this is still a radical change. The conventional wisdom was that the WWE didn't want to lose its family-friendly image and or advertisers with what Vince McMahon called blood and guts. Apparently, TKO feels that's no longer a problem, and fans will be curious just how often wrestlers sport the crimson mask. Language. Although cable TV has different standards than broadcast TV, the WWE has avoided harsh language. That's no longer the case, especially on pay-per-views where wrestlers and announcers use profanity to emphasize some of their promos and calls. It's doubtful fans are going to be hearing frequent F-bombs, but the change in language is definitely obvious. Modern production values. The WWE's had...
I mean, to credit to where it's due, back in the 90s and even the early 2000s were pretty much peak WWF at the time, because things are looking different, even though it looked the same from the 80s. But the 90s, I felt like it completely changed when it came to like its colorful production. But I think nowadays, you kind of notice that in early 05 and all the way up to now, you starting to see like the camera movements when anytime you see a wrestler slams on the ground, on the mat, in the ring, the camera always zooms in and out anytime they land on concrete. Like, I used to always hate that, and I really can't stand it to this day. But besides the negative I have for it though, Kevin Dunn is no longer here with us as well. So you're starting to see a lot of improvements, a lot of changes in this industry. And, you know, even though Kevin Dunn is no longer with the company, right? You notice a lot of change in the WWE of how the camera sets and the production values has improved since he was gone last year. Especially from WrestleMania 40 and the latest episode of Raw After Mania. A lot has improved. And I think there's no saying that Triple H is going to be using like small sets to fill in more crowds and more fans going forward, which is a W move for him, because you want everyone to feel and to experience their favorite superstars. And I think that's probably the best thing, you know, that you can do. Oh, and I know Vince McMahon is sitting at home or somewhere fuming right now because he wishes that he could do what Triple H did. But his ideas sucked for the most part. And a lot of people are coming back in the WWE under Triple H, and now is starting to become more of a safer environment right now.
Will bring the WWF up to speed to air Saturday night's main event on NBC. However, whether it's software updates or new on NBC, new smartphones, technology is always moving, and the WWE has changed things up dramatically since Kevin Dunn's exit, continuing to improve graphics and sound. They've
Definitely
also adopted
improved.
a sports-heavy approach, treating shows like major sporting events as they show a much different presentation that projects the idea that it isn't a dramatic series about fictional athletes' contests, even though it actually is. Sleek camera work. Kevin Dunn's exit has done more than eliminate the machine gun-like camera cuts on WWE TV, a technique whose purpose remains a mystery, but it's led to some sleek shots that enhance the show's presentation. Dunn implemented some memorable innovations and deserves much credit. But at the same time, TKO is quick to adapt the latest tricks and techniques.
Oh
in
man, I
enhancing
love
how
this.
The WWE
I
presents.
love. Now, here's the thing about the new camera work. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Sami Zayn making his entrance, Kevin Dunn, Randy Orton, and everybody, every superstar that is making their grand entrance, the camera work has improved a lot throughout the years. But I think in 2024, it got better over time.
Well, no. The WWE has used celebrities ever since Vince McMahon began running the WWF. However, what constitutes a celebrity for a 78-year-old man, especially one who doesn't even watch regular TV, is likely different from the WWE's younger demographics' perception. While celebrity appearances, much like working with
I
actors
Show
on
Speed.
TV, are unpredictable, the WWE is...
Bruh, who can forget and remember when I Show Speed showed up in WWE for the first time, only to get RKO by Randy Orton, calling him the F-bomb, saying, barking at him and all of that, just to promote their Prime drink brand. Him, KSI, it's like all of these influencers, these big-time streamer influencers, are now just coming to WWE just to get beat up. I love it.
Q factor and whether they're a good fit for wrestling. This is likely due to the many contacts Nick Khan has.
Man,
from
that little
his
Wayne
agent,
part was
as well
just
as
a
the added
bust.
contacts from Endeavor.
To be honest with you, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso match was kind of boring because I expected better. But when Lil Wayne came out, it was like a waste of time. Like, you knew it was going to suck. But I did like how they told the story in the ring about being a brother's keeper. I like that.
There's no avoiding the WWE's emphasis on new talent. Whether it's fresh champions such as Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, or Rhea Ripley, or new talents like Braun Breaker and Jade Cargill, the WWE is looking to ensure its roster isn't weighed down by superstars who have worn out their welcome or don't have much to offer. But what is actually driving these changes? Let's look at several reasons behind the recent changes. Firstly, Vince who? Well, the Wrestling Observer discussed what they see as a primary reason for the new era. There are a lot of reasons why they're doing it. The key one is because of the negative publicity Vince McMahon got. Well, they want to make sure that everyone knows it's not Vince, and they're going to hammer this thing down that it's Paul Levesque. Seeing that the WWE has been hammering the WWE Universe with repeated references to the Triple H era, it's clear the WWE wants to avoid mentioning Vince McMahon's name like another wrestler who's taken on Voldemort-level proportions of being taboo. Like any businesses, TKO Holdings knows that perception is reality. Ironically, a term Vince McMahon used, but that a good marketing campaign can go a long way in changing the public's perception. That doesn't mean the WWE will get a pass if and when Janelle Grant's lawsuit is settled or goes to court, and the possibility of the case being thrown out can't be dismissed either. Still, putting Vince out of sight for now seems wise. TKO management, like any other prudent team, wants to maximize profits and avoid any scandal or hint of a scandal that could affect the profit line. This was evident when Slim Jim withdrew its sponsorship deal with the WWE at the Royal Rumble when news of Janelle Grant's lawsuit broke, only for Slim Jim to renew its ties with the WWE following Vince McMahon's resignation. However, as we'll show, there are other reasons for many changes to the WWE product besides enhancing its image. TKO wants its imprint on the WWE. Another reason for these changes is that the WWE is no longer an independent company as it's under the TKO Holdings umbrella. Endeavor obviously saw things it liked about the WWE when it decided to merge with the wrestling empire. However, there are likely certain areas where Endeavor felt the WWE didn't fit into the TKO corporate mold. More importantly, TKO Holdings seems to understand there's always room for improvement, whether it's administrative efficiency, such as cutting redundant employees after the merger, or other aspects. Simply put, businesses can rest on their laurels or they can improve. While efforts to improve a business can backfire, especially if they turn off the core customer base, stagnant businesses usually suffer when they face new competition. Wrestling fans saw this in the 80s when Vince McMahon revolutionized the WWF and other promoters rested on their laurels until it was too late. Fans also saw this in the 90s when the WWF grew stale and Eric Bischoff jump-started WCW, nearly sinking the WWF. Stepping back into the present, TKO Holdings wants to take the WWE to the next level, regardless of what it means for past workers or wrestlers. Fans already saw TKO Holdings CEO Ari Emanuel give Triple H the keys to the WWE's creative kingdom, despite earlier promises he wanted Vince to stay in creative seemingly forever, but this was long before the Janelle Grant lawsuit. It's rare that a merger occurs without any changes to the way things operate, and Emmanuel and others involved apparently saw areas that could be improved, such as production values, camera work, etc. And TKO is willing to listen to new ideas. And TKO seems open to new ideas for improving the WWE, whether it's bringing in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Man, this shot is not only pure cinema, but I feel like it definitely created of what WWE is about to become for the next 10 years. So 9 times out of 10, I think The Rock definitely changed WWE. We've seen a lot of other wrestlers swearing and being profanative and all of that, when The Rock is clearly the one that is doing all of it. So hopefully, like I said, Triple H can allow other wrestlers to just use profanity and swearing and be more edgier in the PG product than The Rock is doing. Like the acting and the cinematography of this, especially one of the best episodes before WrestleMania in Chicago, was probably one of the best I've seen in years. The ending when Cody Rhodes was busted open, landing on the ground when it was raining. You felt like you was reading the end of a comic book, but in WWE style.
Or putting a new spin on past elements that worked, including profanity and blood, TKO feels that there are ways to make the wrestling product attractive to new fans and lapsed fans, while also keeping its core audience. The theory that the Triple H era is a way to distance the WWE from Vince McMahon has merit. However, there are other reasons for the many changes to the WWE product. TKO wants to take the WWE to new levels, and it's likely fans will see more and more changes over the next few months.
Hey man, shout out to WrestleMania for this awesome video. And you know what? In my honest opinion, this new era of the WWE is definitely in the new era, the Renaissance era, because I feel like they are getting back that same energy like they had in the Attitude era and the Ruthless Aggression era. But in all honesty, this new era, starting, I think, in 2023, all the way up to now when Triple H was in the creative side. But I feel like 2024, where everything is about to become full of exposure, full of improvements, and full of better products. I feel like pro wrestling is not only back, but it's back. Literally back. And so, I don't know when I'm going to be doing live streams of Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. It depends on if I'm not going anywhere this Friday or next week, then you're going to see my full reaction to like Raw or SmackDown. As of right now, I am definitely invested in WWE because just seeing how good the product has become over the last few months is really getting me back into wrestling. So I don't know what's going on with the AEW, but they are just not in the right place right now. So once again, shout out to WrestleMania. Link to the original video will be down below.